Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another LEGO video. Today, I'm going to be showing you some updates that I made to my trains, some new train cars, and a new vehicle. So let's get started. I'm going to move this vehicle to the side real quick. I'll show you the updates first. So, first of all, we got my switcher. As you can tell, it's actually now motorized. It's motorized with the Mold King train motor that I got from the Union Pacific train set 10207. Yeah, so once I motorized that with power functions, I didn't use this motor anymore. I did temporarily put it in the yellow Union Pacific switcher. However, I removed it then because I didn't like it there, and I decided to put it in here instead, and I think it works out a lot better. I had to change up the base. I made it a plate thicker. So yeah, a couple other changes. I actually added interior right here as like an engine or whatever. May not be appropriate, but I think it's fine. So yeah, pretty simple. I think it looks pretty good, and it runs good too. Let me move this aside. So let me turn it on. Now, these wheels do not have the rubber bands on it, so it might slide, but actually it does run pretty well. I thought it would slide a lot, but it does when you like stop it. When you're like going fast and you stop it, it'll like slide. It'll like do that. So yeah. Like, see? Like, you can see it just slides without the wheels. So yeah, I don't really think that's a downside. It's just whatever. So yeah. Next change is actually to my steam locomotive. Which I actually motorized. Let me turn this off real quick. With powered up. And as you can tell, I removed all the normal wheels, which are like these, and I did them with the wheels and axles because I needed them for a couple of train cars like this right here. I used with these wheels and buffers, so yeah. But yeah, it still looks fine. Runs fine, so yeah. Nothing changed with the engine there, but of course the tender got a lot thicker because I had to fit the battery box in here. Just there, and then the motor is right here. So yeah. Now, actually, take this off. It's pretty easy. Either you use this light, pull it up with like holding on this stud, it'll come up, or use a brick separator. Same thing. So let's turn it on. There we go. Set this back on. And what's cool about this is that since I lined this up perfectly with this, it's kind of a rear light now. So that's pretty cool. Got the coal bed. This is actually for a wire to pass through in case I want to motorize the front. Like put a motor here or something. Yeah, in case I want to do that, then that's what this arch is for. So yeah. And yeah, it works out pretty well. This one. These here. Oops. So yeah, actually I had to clean out the battery box a bit because it had some battery acid in it from the last use because I got it used. So yeah, not too much battery acid, so it was fine. This hair does not want to come out. And actually something I did with all my trains that are motorized with battery boxes, so minus the switcher because that is a rechargeable motor. These I actually put rechargeable AAA batteries in. Because, well, I didn't want to get the rechargeable battery boxes because they're expensive. So, yeah. So, I got a bunch of these Amazon Basics AAA rechargeable batteries. Now, these are actually 1.2 volts, while the battery box is 1.5 volts. Now, some of them might have some differences, like they may run slower, or they may run just as good. So, I'm fine with it. So, yeah. I still have 6 extra, so in case I want to motorize something else with the battery box, that's what I use. So yeah, and I think it's actually really good. So yeah. So for you to put up to full speed real quick. So speed 10. Doesn't seem that fast, but okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Turn it off, you can do it the same way, or you can just hold down the controller until that turns off, and then sooner or later, that one will start flashing. It'll do it like 7 or 8 times, and then it'll just turn off, so it's fine. Alright, now let's get to the rolling stock, which there's 2 new and 1 updated. So start out with the updated one. So we got the Caboose here, which I got from a 61 free pack back in Christmas, and there's already some noticeable differences. Like, you can see there's actually something inside, and there's this little Technic spacer right here, as well as doors. So I changed up a lot. So of course I added fake doors because there wasn't any start, and then I added this like kind of chimney for the stove inside. If we remove the roof, very simple. And see, I just positioned these on triple plates, easy to remove. And I actually added these roller skate pieces for the doorknobs, so pretty cool. Inside, there's not really much. There's a little stove here, and then a tiny little table. When you got it like it was a 4x6 space, but then with the doors making it more like 4x4 or 4x5, you know, it's really hard to get what you want in there. So I really tried my best. So that's probably the best that I could do. Fortunately, these do not have panes in them because I didn't have any, just the sides, because that's what came in the set. But it's fine. So let's put the roof back on. And yeah, if you looked inside, the slope actually is right up to this brick, which is holding this Technic spacer. This back on. Okay, so yeah. Everything else is literally exactly the same. Now, freight cars, we got this car here. Actually based off of a car from a cargo train set. Specifically the Heavy Haul Train 60098 from 2015. I like the set, but of course too expensive for me, so of course I didn't get it. I got a locomotive similar to it. It was off-brand, pretty much same color scheme. But yeah. But what I liked from that set was the coal car, but I made one, so I already got that. There was one car which was flatbed holding, which is carrying a backhoe, but I thought that was too big, so I went with the helicopter transport car. So this isn't, of course, the exact same car or helicopter as well. I made one myself, so got the flatbed here, 2 plates thick, just like pretty much all my other cars. I used the 33-degree inverted slopes because I like that for the bottom middle of the cars. You see I got a little beam going through with the plates, keep it nice and sturdy. And yeah. The ends, actually I had to buy these fence pieces. I didn't have 2 in yellow, so I had to buy them. And I just put these steering wheel pieces on the ends for the brake wheels, since I didn't have any more of these brake wheels. So yeah. So these are just made up of the 1x1 curved slope bricks with the 1x1 plate hanging off the edge, with 1x1 tile and 1x1 round plates. And I think it looks pretty good, so I got 2 on each end. Now the helicopter comes off very easily. Oops. That's not supposed to come off. As you see, there are 2 supports. So it can be for either direction. However, one of them has a 1x2 plate on it, or one has a 1x2 tile. So that when it's like this one just looks just nice and flat. So if you want it this way, you're going to have to flip these around, or just put the whole car around. And then I made an H using the yellow plates, so I used 2x10s here and here, and then a 2x2 tile right in the middle for the large H. I think it worked out pretty well. Now the helicopter itself, I was going to make an Octam plate or color scheme themed helicopter. However, I could not find wedge plates in green. So that was the big problem. So I was like trying to figure out what to do. And then I seen this one minifig, which was a racer. I don't know what set I got it from. Get a mouse. A racer, which had Vita Rush on it, which is like the energy drink brand for Lego. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna make a Vita Rush themed helicopter using the paint scheme. So that's exactly what I did. So I got some orange, some, what's this, golden orange, yeah, and then whites. And I think it turned out pretty well. Let me just reposition these. Now, he doesn't have to be in there, but I have him in there so that, you know, if he needs to take off while on the car, he can. So I got these curved slopes on the edges and the back. Now I used a brick that's actually not Lego. It's let me find the right piece. It's one of these. So this is not a Lego piece. However, they make pieces that are like just like half of this. So yeah. So it's just like these here. I think the ones on the side too. And of course the ones on the top. The back, it doesn't have any studs to place anything on the back, so yeah. I just used it because I had it and it was pretty useful to put here. I have plenty of them in a few different colors, but I just don't know where to use them. So yeah. So I had the wedge plates in orange and white, so that was pretty easy. See in the back I got some wedge tiles, not plates, these are tiles. So they're like the corner tiles, but they're like have the angle chopped off. And in order to support this clip, and it could be storage or another seat back here, but you can't fit another person back there. I'm gonna take this off. So you can see I use these kind of inverted curved slopes here. I'm gonna do this, and then the wedge plate there. So, oops, yeah, not very good stability, sort of. Not very good. And as you can see right there, these propellers can actually fold down when in transit. So, and then when it's ready to take off, and it's ready to go. Using the Technic pin is actually very good with this because it means it can do this very fast because there's no friction on it. Which is like the helicopter from the 2022 Fire Station set, 60320. So yeah. It's a little bit, this one's a little bit smaller than this one. This one I had to heavily modify to get it right. I had to use, so I used this Technic piece here, and then I put two red axles, the two long ones. Now the real problem was finding two of these black pieces, which have the like connector that goes into the fork connector piece, which is for the propeller. I can only find one in black. So the other one I had to put in light bluish gray. So, until I buy, like, another one, I'm just gonna have to deal with this. But, I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. I also used these, kind of, like, engine pieces. I don't know. They connect on a 1x2 plates, so, yeah. Don't mind the noise. That's my AC. It does that sometimes. It just, when it's, like, hot out, it just, like, starts to cool it down and makes this really loud noise. It does all the time. Sometimes, but whatever, I was just getting used to it. So we got this 1x10 plate, I'm pretty sure this is. No, it's 1x12, okay. With a propeller on the back, and then it went around. But it's actually the same design as the fire helicopter set from 2013, 60004. I still have that helicopter too. So, I think this one's longer than the other one, but it's whatever. And then I just used a 2x3 coupling plate just to hold that together. Just gotta make sure it's straight because it can shift left to right because it's only held on by one stud here. Then I just added some slopes here, so I got this 45-degree slope, 2x2, and then these 1x2 45-degree slopes with the tile on top. And then I just used the 2x4 modified plate with the Technic pin on top. And then a cheese slope 1x2 right there. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I could make another one if I wanted to and actually put it in the Octane team, because I did actually find wedge plates in green, the 2x4s, the left and right one. I actually found them after making this, so I'm just like, great. So if I wanted to make another one, I could. I just need more of the 1x6 fence pieces in yellow. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Alright, then finally for the train cars, we got the, I don't mind all the hair, it's just some of these round tiles had stickers on it and it had residue, so it just stuck. Trying to pick it all off, but it's hard to. Anyways, this is supposed to be a gondola car. As you see, I added a lot of texture to it. So I did this all in dark blue gray. Now instead of doing it just bland, I said add some texture. So I added these 1x2 and 1x4 palisade bricks. And then on the ends, I added steps. So I did these 1x2 plates with the bar. So they got across here. And then the 1x2 plates with the bar, but the other way around. Well, this one's a plate, this one's actually brick. So, yeah. Then we got dish pieces here connected on these 1x1 bricks with one knob. And then I just added some 1x2 panels in between these bricks here. And then here's just like a warning label for the hazardous chemicals, because I added these barrels. So they're 2 bricks tall. They're 2 bricks and a tile tall. So I got them in red and yellow because I thought that was appropriate for these kind of hazardous barrels. And then with black tops. So, yeah. So I just got some 1x2 by 1x2 brackets and then put 1x2 tile in yellow on them. And then the ends, I used the 1x4 panels and then put an arch over it. I thought that would look cool. A plate layer, then a tile layer. If you notice with this brake wheel, it is severely bent. Yeah, that was because I accidentally dropped it. Or no, I didn't drop it. My layout's upstairs, and it goes around the stairs, and sometimes if you go fast around this curve, it'll like tip over. So I was running it with this locomotive, which goes really fast, so it went around the curve and somehow this fell, and it was like this, so it kind of fell, and then just smacked the bottom, and I guess it must have dented this. So I didn't realize it till like a few days later. I just look at this and it's like, wait, I don't remember this being bent. So yeah, it's an off-brand wheel, not Lego one, but still, this thing is so bent. Yeah, it's fine, it's whatever, it's my fault. But yeah, still pretty happy about all these. Now there is a slight problem with this car, and it's of course with this back section here. This has to be in front of a low clearance car, like this gondola, totally fine. The flatbed with pallets car, both of those will work fine with this. Anything like this caboose, like my box cars, stuff like that, way too tall. My what was it called? The tank car, not my tankers, but like the car that's carrying 4 barrels, the barrel car, I guess, whatever. That is just too tall by 1 plate, I think. By 1 or 2 plates, it is too tall, so that cannot fit either. So yeah, but anything like this gondola or the flatbeds with pallets can work just fine. So yeah, that is the thing with this. But it's fine. It's whatever. I always have it in front of those anyway. Or like my low clearance long cars too, those will work. So yeah. I'm gonna reassemble these trains and then we'll get on to the tow truck. Which might be what you all clicked onto here for, maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, without further ado, here is my big tow truck. I built this like a week ago. Made several changes to it before I did this video. I just want to make sure I got all the changes I wanted to do to it before I did the video. I wanted to do a tow truck for a few months now, actually. I had the idea, like, I think in May. It was like when I was doing my semi-trucks in between, I think the first and second one. I was like, I want to do a tow truck, but I never really got to it. Until, I guess now. So, yeah. The paint scheme I chose is quite interesting. So we got blue with cool yellow and white. Now I remember wondering why I chose cool yellow. It's because of these wheel arch pieces, whatever, mud guards. These plates. I had eight of them left over, just enough to do this entire truck. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use them up for this instead of doing it for another fire truck, because I'm pretty sure I'm not using this for a fire truck. So I went with this, and I think it worked out so good. And I really like it. If you notice on these wheels, whoops, I added these Technic pins and then these 1x1 round tiles with the nipple. That's what I call them. That's what they look like. In black. So yeah. And I think they work out pretty good for like the spokes that come out of the wheels or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but yeah. So the front, I based this off of a few tow trucks, and I seen that there were like headlights on the bumpers, probably like fog lights. So that's what I did. I put jumper plates and then 1x1 tiles and transparent clear on there. And then for the grill, I added these 1x1 transparent orange plates for like hazard lights, and then the transparent clear plates for the headlights. Then for the grills on the side here, actually, I don't know if LEGO makes them in this color, but they're the 1x2 profile bricks, but they're in kind of a silverish color. I don't know if LEGO makes them in that color. I have no clue, but whatever. They were off-brand, so yeah. The cab, these blue doors I actually had to steal off of one of my cars, mini cars. I forgot what they were called. The smart cars, yeah, from a few off-brand sets that I got. One of them was blue, so I stole them from there. They really got some friction, so they don't open very easily, but it's whatever. This is the only blue doors I had. I had one right blue door, but unfortunately, I only had one right. I didn't find a left one, so that's what I did. The roof was very hard. I didn't know what to do because I didn't have any 4x6 hood pieces. I had 4x4s, so just one. So I used that for the hood of the nose of the truck, but nothing for here. So I chose a black 4x6 hood piece. I was going to use it for a car that I might make, but I decided that, no, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah. It's mainly, that would probably be on display anyway. So, inside we got the steering wheel, got a little bit of space back there, back of the seats, and, yeah. Not much going on inside. Rearview mirrors was definitely hard to design because I didn't have very many mirrors pieces left that I used for the fire trucks, so I just chose this. Now, it does fall off easily, but it's the lowest option that I had. It was either to have it up to here or down to here, and I chose down to here. I mean, it's not totally, bad. I feel like it's good, so yeah. And I just put the 1x2 ingots on there as well. And then these train windows, I thought I found some glass panes I could put in there, but unfortunately they did not stay in, so yeah. And these are off-brand too, so whatever. And then below the cab, we got the steps. Same ones that I used on the first semi-truck cab, except they're in dark blue instead of black, since I had two in dark blue. I feel like it fit this better too. And then I got these like tanks or whatever. I don't really like them because, well, they're too low. First of all, they're way too low. So I don't know if I'm going to keep them or just remove them, because like if I'm going over a crossing with this, they will just scrape. So yeah, I'm not sure if I still like them or not. I'm not sure. Alright, that's enough. Oh yeah, and of course I added the binocular pieces on jumper plates for horns. And then I added this 1x6 like bar piece, put it on my 2 jumpers, and then put on my 2 transparent orange tiles. I originally had 3 going across, but somehow I lost one, and I realized that, you know what, I think just 2 is better, since, you know, the ones on the ends were just at an angle because they're only connected by 1 stud. Now, this section, as you can see, I added fake cabinets because, well, I don't have any cabinets in blues, so I just chose to make fake ones. And they look pretty good, so I just use snot techniques, studs not on top, with these 1x1 bricks, and then a 1x1 on plates or studs for the cabinet doors, and then I put plates and tiles along the edges to make the cabinet outlines. And I just put them on the snot bricks, so yeah. And if you're wondering what this is, it's actually a stabilizer. Now, I use my screwdriver, but you can use a brick separator, although it's a lot harder to get out. But yeah, it is able. That I definitely ain't proud of. I'm not proud of that. How it's not hard to get. It's not easy to get out, rather. I'm definitely not proud of this, but it's really the only option I had. It's a lot easier to do with my screwdriver, though. But yeah. Then we got 2 other fake cabinets here, so they don't have the outline since it's a lot smaller space wise. Now the wheels, these ones are using Technic pins. These ones are using the half pins axles because they're these ones, because these are the only ones that I had left, or at least from what I found. So I had 4 of these in light bluish gray. I have a few more though, but I didn't use them here. I just put them on the frictionless half pin F axles, which are in tan. I do have some in light bluish gray, or light gray rather, but it's whatever. Then these. Now these are like the supporting wheel in case they got a big load on the back. So I have it raised up a plate so it doesn't turn like the rest and it's more close to the mudguard. And I added the black pins, which are friction, because of that, so they don't move. And if you notice, I actually used these brackets so I could hold this in place a lot more sturdy. So yeah, I think that worked out pretty well too. Originally I had one for the top, and then I added one to the bottom because it needed more support. So that's what I did. So it isn't exactly easy to redo if you want this to be on the ground, but it's whatever. The rear stabilizers are a lot easier to get out, of course, since there's nothing blocking it. However, these stabilizers aren't exactly level. When you put them all down, they're actually gonna be lifting the whole truck up, probably by like a whole plate layers. So yeah, just be aware of that. Now the back, it's nothing in here. I just added this section here. I just had some cool yellow tiles since I had some, and then a slope back there. So yeah. And then the back, I continue the stripe, doing cool yellow, white, then cool yellow, and then the 2 red brake lights and turn signals, and then the backup lights. And then the bumper, I just did on my 6 tile with 2 hazard stripe stickers in cool yellow and black, and then a license plate sticker. Whoops. These back sections are kind of easy to knock off. So yeah. Now the crane. These stickers, the 12-ton stickers, are actually from a train set. 60198 to be exact. I got that sticker sheet. Made a video about some things I use the stickers for. So yeah. I didn't want to put any stickers on it, but when I seen these, I was like, you know, these would go great on these. Now this crane thing itself, I actually stole from one of my fire trucks because I didn't have any more. So until I get like a set that has these, my fire truck that had the 2 sections just gonna have 1 section. And then we got the wind up. Now this is not the correct lining, whatever, for the hooks. It's actually thinner. However, it was very hard to get that thing in here. especially this part. The end was like not great, so I ended up using an old hose piece that had the nozzle ripped off, and it actually worked out pretty well with this. So yeah, it's not as long, definitely. Like, this is how far it reaches out to, and then when you extend the whole crane as well, the whole black section, then that really gets small. But it's whatever. Whoops. And then I just made a wind-up piece by using a 3-long axle, this 2x2 profile round brick, and then a round tile with this sticker on it from the 16198 cargo train set as well. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And then I also use these panels in dark blue with the cheese slopes in orange just to hold this in place. So yeah, very happy with this indeed. Wow, this was a long video. I did not expect this video to take this long, but it did. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.